Bears fans, listen up. This offseason could be one for the history books, and all eyes are on Chicago. The Bears have their quarterback, they have their new head coach, and now they have a chance to land one of the biggest defensive playmakers available, Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. The Washington Commanders are giving Allen permission to seek a trade, and experts are pointing directly at Chicago as the perfect landing spot. This could be the move that transforms the Bears' defense from good to elite. Jonathan Allen is no ordinary defensive lineman. He's a two-time Pro Bowler, a dominant force on the defensive line, and a guy who can single-handedly change the way opposing offenses play. Standing at 6'3" and weighing 300 pounds, Allen combines size, strength, and technique in a way that very few defensive tackles do. He has the power to bull rush interior linemen and the hand placement to shed blockers with ease. Over his career, he has racked up 42 sacks, 401 tackles, 60 tackles for loss, and 118 quarterback hits. That's production at an elite level. He's been a difference maker since Washington drafted him in the first round in 2017, and he has been a leader on their defense ever since. But why would Washington even consider moving on from him? That's where things get interesting. The Commanders are undergoing a major transition. They've hired a new front office, brought in a new coaching staff, and they're likely building around young quarterback Jaden Daniels. When teams enter a new era, they often make tough roster decisions, and Allen's contract is a big factor. He's in the final year of a 4-year, $72 million deal, meaning any team that trades for him has to be willing to take on his salary or work out an extension. Meanwhile, Washington would free up over $16 million in cap space by trading him. That money could be used to reshape their roster. Financially, it makes sense for them. But for Chicago, this could be an absolute steal. Now let's talk about the Bears' defensive line. Chicago already has Montez Sweat coming off the edge, a high-motor pass rusher who's proven to be an impact player. They have Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards at linebacker, both athletic, instinctive players who can fly to the ball and make plays all over the field. But what they don't have is a dominant interior presence who can collapse the pocket and stop the run. That's where Allen comes in. Imagine pairing Jonathan Allen with Sweat. Imagine how much easier life gets for the linebackers when offensive linemen are too busy trying to stop Allen from wrecking their game plan. The Bears' run defense instantly improves, the pass rush becomes a legitimate threat, and suddenly quarterbacks in the NFC North, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and whoever Minnesota rolls out, are facing pressure they haven't seen before. A strong defensive tackle is a game changer, and Allen is exactly the type of player who can elevate this Bears defense to a whole new level. The Bears have nearly $75 million in cap space. That's one of the highest totals in the league. If there's ever been a time to go all in on a trade like this, it's now. Chicago isn't in rebuild mode anymore. They're looking to compete. And in a division where the Lions just made the NFC Championship and the Packers are reloading fast, standing still isn't an option. This is a move that signals the Bears mean business. The front office has already made aggressive moves, and this would be another step in solidifying their vision for a championship-caliber team. So what would a trade look like? That's the big question. Washington isn't going to give Allen away for free, but they're also in a position where they need draft picks. The Bears have multiple high picks in 2025, and they could put together a package that includes a second rounder and possibly a mid to late round selection. Would it take a first round pick? Maybe, but when you're talking about a proven difference maker like Allen, you make that move, because draft picks are just lottery tickets. There's no guarantee you'll get a player as good as Allen, but with Allen, you know exactly what you're getting. A dominant force who makes your defense better from day one. Why would Allen want to come to Chicago? That's the best part. This team is building something special. Caleb Williams is expected to be the face of the franchise. Ben Johnson is one of the brightest young offensive minds in football. And the Bears have a passionate fan base that loves great defense. Allen is a high-character leader, a guy who plays with intensity and fire. He'd fit right in with a Chicago team that's looking to restore its identity as a defensive powerhouse. Now let's talk about what this move would mean for the NFC North. The Lions are currently the team to beat, and their offensive line is one of the best in football. If the Bears want to slow them down, they need interior pressure. The Packers have a young quarterback in Jordan Love who showed flashes of brilliance last season. What's the best way to disrupt a young QB? Put pressure right in his face. And the Vikings, well, they could be drafting a rookie quarterback, which means they'll be vulnerable to defensive pressure as well. Adding Allen isn't just about improving the defense, it's about matching up with division rivals and positioning the Bears as a playoff team. But let's also look at the big picture. This move wouldn't just be about 2025. If the Bears trade for Allen, they'll likely want to extend him. That means locking in a dominant defensive tackle for the next several years. A long-term commitment to Allen would ensure the Bears have a strong defensive front for the foreseeable future. And when you pair that with the development of young players and future draft picks, you're looking at a team that could become a legitimate contender sooner rather than later. So what are the risks? No move is without them. Allen is coming off a season where he battled injuries, playing in just 8 regular season games. But when healthy, he's proven to be a force, and with the Bears' depth on the defensive line, they can rotate him enough to keep him fresh for the long haul. The only other concern is cost. If Washington demands too much, Chicago has to be careful not to overpay. But if the price is right, this is a move they should absolutely make. Now it's time for Bears fans to weigh in. Should Chicago trade for Jonathan Allen? Is this the missing piece to a championship-caliber defense? Or should they use their cap space and draft picks elsewhere? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, if you love Bears content, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more coming your way.